What's up, everybody? Toysrme here, long time. I'm gonna go through a PUBG Solo win I did tonight because a lot of my friends kind of struggle to get a lot of wins. So I'm just gonna kind of go through my thoughts. Don't worry so much about the gun you have, the drops you have. Just get a gun, get a sight, some armor, and some health, and go at it. So right out of the gate, we're gonna go in here. You want to jump somewhere that has a lot of loot but not a lot of people, and that's really easy in solo and duo games. I don't really recommend squads right out of the gate. It's just harder to get wins in squads, especially at this point in the game. But we're gonna go to Yasnaya Polyana, to one of my favorite high loot areas, and that is the town hall, which is a kind of burnt orange building, sort of brownish, and a prison. And you can see there's one at Yasnaya Polyana, and there's also another pair at Georgia Pole. So you always want to look around. I didn't look around a lot because I looked in the C-130 and saw not a lot of people there in it by the time I jumped. I kind of made a little mistake here. I could have looked in that garage if I'd have been a little more careful to see if there was a vehicle, and I did not. So you got to be careful when you're landing next to things or on things, because I almost messed up here. If you trigger the parachute cut too close to the edge, you'll simply fall off and die. But we got rid of it. This is about a 35-minute long game, so I'm just going to kind of cut all the looting out. This is what I came out of this building with: a nice 416 started and an AKM as a backup. I picked up a machete just to, kind of ass armor, like a pan, but not as good. Always check your little garages. You can see there is a white car that spawned to the right. So Yasnaya Polyana, I love the center of this. You'll see the yellow line running north-south in the center. I love fighting up through these mountains from Stabler on south. There's a lot of really great angles just south of Stabler in the middle of this picture. North, south, east, west, the diagonals, really great fighting. So I'm really happy here. And what I'm going to try and do is basically loot out Polyana by myself, maybe Yasnaya, some apartments, and move north up into the hills. So this is the next jail, the little prison. We're going to take this out. Again, great loot, really nice drops, but it's really quick to loot. It's not just, looting isn't just about the caliber of drops, it's how quickly you can do it. So you can see I've got two 416s. I've dropped the AKM and the ammo. I'm starting to make a mistake here. This is a really open area. It's very obvious it's going to end open, but I'm keeping a lot of 45 ACP because I wanted to play with a Vector, and I'm going to keep it for far longer than I should have. So we have a vehicle spawn here. I'm going to take the vehicle, and instead of going up to the apartments and in the hills, I decided, well, I haven't heard anything. I got through this pretty quickly, so I'm going to come over here to the restaurant and this little house. I'm going to loot it out. There really wasn't a lot of good loot, but it's quick to loot, really high drops. And I'm totally going to do this up here. Like, I'm not opposed to making mistakes. Like I said, biggest mistake I made all game was keeping that 45 ACP with a game that I know this map is going to end, and that Vector is going to be, not a player for a long time. So I've gone through, I loot two of these apartments. This is what I come up with, two 416s. I finally dropped the 45 ACP. I've got 9 first aid kits. Which is crazy. Only 1 painkiller, no energy drink, and that's kind of a big deal. I shuffled grenades and smoke grenades a lot. I do have level 3 armor, which is great. And you can see just sort of how the map is progressing here. But yeah, like I said, I really like the angles up here, and I'm just gonna move north and sort of into the center of that yellow line, and then I'm gonna see how the map goes. I'm going to cut most of that out. But anyway, I wound up looting for about 25 minutes unopposed, which was crazy. So I got 3 apartments, the town hall, the prison, the restaurant, and the building beside it, and that's just crazy. So I'm going to go up to the top of the map here. And you can see where I am on the map, and I got nothing here, so I'm moving on. And again, don't worry about your mistakes, just play with them, right? Just keep going. Because I totally messed this up. Classic Toysrme rack right there. So we're just going to keep moving south. There's 28 alive. You can see I do not have any gun sights, a pair of hollows, no energy drink. This is really freaking me out. This is sort of the angle I was taking in, which was just straight south because it wasn't far to run, but you know, you gotta kind of feel comfortable when you're out in these open spaces, and I feel pretty comfortable just because the shots are pretty long range. A lot of people aren't going to be able to hit. So I've come up to these two buildings. Notice this is wide ass open, and you always want to check your windows. You know, classic first person shooter, you got to check it, you got to be careful. I came out of that with virtually nothing. I think I got maybe one energy drink, I'm not sure. I actually wound up picking up a flash hider for this particular 416. You can see there's a loot crate there. That's not going to play into it for me, but it will play into it for other people. It's going to aid a couple of people later. A few people are going to die around that. So you always want to watch your angles. I was pretty sure there was somebody in this house because of the firing, so I was already moving to get in the cover of this tree. You can't hit what you can't see, so I played this very, very patiently. You know, from here on out, we're going to probably not take as many cuts into the game. But you got to be really patient. I'm going to go ahead and take an energy drink because I knew I was going to have to push up. You have to watch the circle timers. You know, I had 10 seconds on the circle. I was really afraid of being sniped from back over my shoulder, but I think that guy was a little too busy shooting at other people. There was a UAZ back there, and I did not want to run out into the middle and sort of take it. Kind of a misclick there while I was recording. But you just got to think of your angles. I'm just going to move tree to tree. See what this guy up here is going to do. Otherwise, I feel pretty safe. There hasn't been a lot of shooting over here. Just this one dude in the house. And, you know, I'm going to use the third-party hacks. Like, I don't mind it. I love first person and I love third person. I love them both. We're going to come up here. You really got to watch your angles. I didn't have a good approach right there, but you have to do what you got to do. And I saw him. I saw his helmet. I saw it flash, and he can hear me. I know he can see me, and it's just a question of where. He didn't even hit me. Not even a scratch. And I got to tell you, I missed the headshot, but I wound up playing around with my inventory. This is what I wound up with. I got a level 3 backpack off of him, a bunch of painkillers, a bunch of energy drinks. I sort of shuffled my first aids back. You have to be careful with med kits because they take 9 seconds. But I got an ACOG and a compensator. So now I have a flash hidden 416 with a hollow that's kitted, and I have one with a compensator. So we're gonna run out the back. We got 30 seconds. I'm gonna go just a little early because I do have to move forwards. There's this guy. I did some awful shooting. Hit him right over there in the second shot, and I mean, I fell apart with my aim. I saw this dude right here. Just take your time when you're shooting. You know, you don't have to really hold over too much with an ACOG. Just the tiniest little bit. That was probably a 250 meter shot, 300 meters. You don't really have to hold over much. I just walk it on them. But I had, you know, a lot of people struggle with that, but it's not a big deal. Now, actually, I was pretty surprised. Everybody was kind of busy looking at other angles and not looking at me through all this. And every now and again, you just get lucky, you know. You make mistakes, but you get lucky. Just keep playing. Don't worry about it. A lot of people, I'll say this level 3 backpack stands out a lot. A lot of people do not like it at all. And you're going to see me totally break this. I hit him 4 times. I needed the 5th hit, and I was shooting a little too slow. So we're going to push up on this. Notice I just went to automatic, and right here we're going to freeze it. I heard a shot over here, and it concerned me a lot moving forwards, but you know, you got to let it go and keep going. So definitely a silenced guy, you know, 1 on 7, and I stayed in here. Nothing happened. I wound up working my way up. I threw this grenade because there's still shots going through there. I didn't know if he was top or bottom or if he was in the garage. That missed, and it was a pretty good throw, so I'm pretty convinced now that the guy's in the garage shooting outward. You can see a car. I kept looking for this guy. Could not find him. Couldn't find him at all. And right there, just some awful shooting on my part. I hit him 1 time. And I'm just shooting behind the guy too much and shooting on him. And the velocity isn't quite high enough for me to get away with that. And that was just really bad shooting on my part. I mean, right out of the gate, I hit him on the second shot, I think. But it wasn't bad. This dude over here is kind of bothering me too. But I knew there was nothing I could do. And, you know, I was trying to keep myself safe from that angle right there as I try and hunt this guy down. Still really bothered by this dude. But I can hear him. So what I'm thinking is I had a couple more grenades left. I was going to throw another grenade. I'm going to throw it right down here. See if I can bounce it in the garage. And got it. 3 kills. So you don't have to be good. I mean, just because you see all these videos of guys posting up, you know, like 10, 20 kills, you know, that's crazy. But, you know, you'll get that far if you keep playing. But you really only got to be capable of just a couple of kills and then just kind of solid decision making, you know, work your angles, kind of work the odds. And that guy right there, I saw him and I literally was not ready to shoot. I could have ended that right there. That's just me trying to bait him, and he's going to try and bait me back in a minute. But you'll notice I could pick a corner, but with the ACOG, a lot of times with gun sights in games like this, you know, you can't, the sight's just big enough to where you can't see everything you need to, you know. It's not an invisible sight. It's not translucent. So I'm holding over sort of in the middle and just, see, he's baiting. He's baiting. He has not killed anybody. He ain't even hitting anybody. Well, there it is. Actually, I'm totally wrong about that. I've forgotten that. So it's 1-on-1-on-1. I know this dude over here, he's got to be somewhere because he never died. I know there's a guy right here. I've made a mistake because you'll notice I've got plenty of painkillers, plenty of first energy drinks, and I have not taken any. You should really be popping those a lot. Because there's basically 2 ways you can loot. You can either go find the loot, or you can kill the guy that has the loot and pick it up. And they're both totally valid. So I don't know really what's going on with this dude. And you know, I notice now, oh hey, you know, I really better be taking this stuff because it's, look at the circle. Alright, right there. We know this, the guy to the left behind that rock that was taking shots a little while ago has moved in front of us. He's down here. We're just going to keep topped off. So we got another minute before the circle moves. I know I have to move. I know he's going to have to move. I'm going to take a wild throw on my last grenade. Went exactly where I wanted, right on the corner of that. And that's going to spook this guy. You know, no matter what he did, we know we just spooked the shit out of him. But it's just, you know, there's so many odds to play right here. Did he move out? Where'd he go? So we know he's not at the rock anymore. Because, I mean, I just walked out there. Totally safe. And I'll start fucking up again right here. But he was a bad shot. Luckily, we are fully boosted. We're going to stop. We're going to take a med kit. Now, med kits are rough because you've got a 7 seconds. You know? Bandages are a few seconds. You know, the stronger the item, the worse it is. So, when we just saw him, as soon as I pulled up, I saw him head glitching, jumping on the rock. I'm going to throw some smoke because I am completely out of time. Best thing I can do, go through this door. Got a little lucky there. He had a bad throw. Notice we have swapped off of the ACOG and we are in automatic. I am almost a little more than half health. He also has to move. That's a big deal for him. And we just walk it straight up him. But see, he had to move as well, so I kind of played it a little slow, almost too slow. But there you go. You notice he never hit me. Just walked out and killed him, and that's kind of how you win. Just play the odds, get a good start, avoid people, you know, if you're a newer player. Don't worry about the loot, just try and get the basics and go from there. Alright, have a good one.